So I'm presently at a gorgeous remote field site in Thailand conducting field work. This is the bay that we live in, and it's amazing. And it's in these moments that I often think, you know, like how did I get here? Like, how did this work out? How did I get this kind of golden ticket in life? And then immediately I think to myself, you know, how can I share how to get to this place if you want to be here? And I don't mean physically in a remote, beautiful place. You can just save money and go on vacation to do that. But like, be following your passion as a scientist and allowing your sort of interests and creativity to kind of lead you throughout your career. How do you get there? How do you become a scientist, a career scientist? And a lot of what I do with these videos is hopefully shed light on that. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm bringing on a bunch of colleagues to help me do that with all sorts of different perspectives. But in this video, what I want to stress to folks is the intimidation factor. And this is something I don't think we talk about ever, and it's something that needs to be talked about. And what I mean specifically is when I was starting out as a scientist, or as like a science hopeful. This was when I was in college. I actually went to college as a journalism major and then had this crazy field experience that made me want to be a scientist. But I will tell you that when I first started down that path, I was incredibly intimidated. I mean, it was every time I interacted with a scientist, and that included graduate students, not just senior scientists that had been doing it for a long time, but even graduate students intimidated me, man, because they were so on top of their stuff. Like, they really knew what they were talking about, and they talked about things with such confidence, had so much knowledge. And I thought, man, I don't think I'm smart enough for this. That was a concern, for sure, early on. I don't think I'm smart enough. And I want to share with you a realization that I continually sort of arrive at, and that is, intelligence actually begets intelligence. You can get smarter if we define intelligence as the ability to retain knowledge and execute complicated tasks, like those sorts of things. If that's how we define intelligence, then you absolutely can get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. And that's what happens, actually. That's what happened to me. I think I worked hard, and I was a good student, but I was absolutely unprepared to become a scientist, and it took a lot of work to get there. And that work wasn't that challenging, or I guess I should say, it started out really challenging because I didn't really know what I was doing and why I was doing it. But then it got easier and easier because then I sort of understood why I was doing what I was doing and why it mattered for me to develop such a deep and wide knowledge base and extensive skill set, and incorporating things like mathematics and computer coding and these kinds of things into my work. Like, those are all really hard things, but if you really have an incentive to do it, you can do it, and you don't have to be a genius. You could have started out not that smart. Maybe you were someone that didn't do very well in school, and in fact I have friends that are some of the most brilliant scientists I know that did poorly in your normal K through 12 and even college education system. It was sort of in college, in the midst of college, that they kind of figured out their passion for learning certain stuff, and then they became extremely intelligent in the eyes of everyone around them because they were very knowledgeable about those things that they really cared about. So anyway, this is a long way to say that if you think you're not that smart because you haven't done that well in school, and maybe you have an urge, you have like a sort of gut feeling that you want to pursue science or something, something like that, something that is perceived to require a very high level of intelligence, I would not write yourself off yet. In fact, I would say probably in most cases you're capable of becoming smart and intelligent, and maybe very smart, very intelligent. Some people may even call you a genius. I'm reminded by a talk I saw by a guy who was interviewing some of the people that had the best memories, the best memory recall, and he thought they were all sort of geniuses, and they explained to him, "No, man, it's just practice. You figure out methods and you practice it." he actually did that as part of his sort of journalistic endeavor of writing about this, and became one of the best memorizers in the world. So that's kind of a great testament to what I'm talking about. But there is a ton of room to grow, and you get better at being smarter. That's the absolute truth. That's exactly what's happened to me, and I think it's happened to all my colleagues. So don't write yourself off too early. Thanks a lot for watching. Please support what we're doing. We have a lot of passionate scientists that are on board to share their knowledge and insights and their stories of how they got to where they are and how to succeed in this field and why it's so important, why science is so important. You can help us tremendously for free by sharing these videos, subscribing, and getting the word out. You can also help us not for free by chipping in $1 or $2 on our Patreon account. So please support us. We'll continue to produce these videos. We do this for free. We do this because we care. So we're happy that you're watching. Thank you.